Hey guys, it's me. Um, and I'm sure the vast majority of people watching this right now know what's happened, um, and that is that my best friend, my mentor, and my personal hero, Adam the Woo, is has died. He is no longer no longer with us. Um, and I'm just letting I'm just talking. I'm just talking about it. I put a few notes on my phone of things I wanted to make sure I talked about, but I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about Adam. Um, it was it's Christmas Eve right now. It was I guess 2 days ago that I was at the Henry Ford Museum over in Detroit, and I got a phone call um, while I was while I was there. A mutual friend of me and Adams told me that he wasn't with us anymore, and um, the shock. I mean, just the shock. Um, Adam was young, 51 years old. Adam was appeared to be healthy. He was so active. He went out every day. Out every day, doing stuff. He was straight edge since he was young. Um, he never, smoked, drank, um, or did drugs. Probably the last person, of all my friends that I um, would expect to just suddenly die. He lived, what in my opinion is a very short life. Fortunately, I mean the only thing that's like helping me hang on here, and giving me just a little glimmer through the darkness is um, Adam lived every day of his life like it was a gift. Um, every day he got up and he had, um, you know, an adventure. I think it was probably around, uh, gosh, I think about 15 years. And I'm just spitballing that, but he quit his job. He quit his job. He was very unhappy with his job, very unhappy with um, his day to day life, his station in life. He wanted more, and in characteristic um, Adam form, he wanted something and he did it. For probably a more coherent tribute, Adam's friend Justin Scard uh, put out a video talking about Adam, and it was perfect. It was beautiful. And gave so much insight to who Adam was as a person. But like Justin said, it was, Adam didn't like to sit around and talk about things, about what I'm going to do one day, what I'm going to do. He wanted to get out there and do it, and that's what he did. He um he just wanted, he told me. I remember he told me, he said, I can be broke in an apartment. I could go to work every day to a job that I hate, and be broke and come back to my apartment. He said, or I could still be broke, but I could be traveling. I could be seeing the world. Um, remember he said that I remember he said he told someone once that you may be um, You may be sitting at your office and I will be out here broke, but standing next to the world's ball of twine with a big goofy look on my face, because that's you know, things were more important. Things were more important than money to Adam, and he was willing to sacrifice everything to do what he wanted to do. And people, up till the day he died, there was people that told Adam, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing something different, you should live more like everyone else. And Adam never cared. He never cared. Adam played in punk rock bands, but he lived that punk rock lifestyle. It was more than how he dressed. It was more than the music he listened to him. It was, punk rock was, he didn't ask permission. He didn't ask for help. He just did what he wanted, and he didn't care. He didn't care if other people approved of that. And he lived this life. Everyone thought he was crazy, and he just made this magical life, this adventure, this life for himself that most people could only dream about having. And it all just started with him throwing a blow-up mattress in the back of his old van one day. And it paid off, because, and this is probably one of the most valuable lessons Adam taught me, was, to bet on yourself. That's advice that one day would change my life as well. And without Adam the Woo, I'm not standing here right now. There's no Carpetbagger. There's no Carpetbagger YouTube channel without Adam the Woo. I first became familiar with Adam when I had a passion, always, for years had a passion with traveling roadside attractions and abandoned places. I said to myself, I knew about the abandoned Six Flags in New Orleans, and I said, is it possible? Is it possible that I could get in there, that I could sneak in there? And I looked up, I think I just put it into Google, and a video came up where someone actually was inside. And I pulled it up, and the video was not what I was expecting. Back in the day, urban exploring was something that was had kind of this different vibe to it. It was spooky, it was creepy, it was forbidden. But here you have this 6'4" guy covered in tattoos, and he's not just poking around, he's having the time of his life. He is showing his face, showing, didn't care that people knew he was there. He was just having the time of his life. And I never really watched YouTube much. I mean, I've been watching a video here or there, but I became fascinated with this person as I realized, he would pop up again when I was looking for different stuff. And I'm like, this guy doesn't just like abandoned places like I do. This guy loves roadside attractions. Like, it blew me away. I mean, I thought this guy just went into abandoned buildings, but he loved roadside attractions. He'd been to all the places that I had wanted to go to but couldn't, or didn't, or wasn't able to figure out how. And he traveled this country. I loved Disney. He loved Disney. He made it happen. And I remember him posted a video where he stumbled upon Pigeon Forge, which was in my backyard, and he was in love with the place, as was I. And the way I met him, he put out on Facebook that he was going to be in Pigeon Forge, that he was looking for suggestions, things to do. And I messaged him. I'm like, I know Pigeon Forge pretty good. I could show you some stuff. And he's like, oh, good. He sent me a message back. Yeah, just tell me a good place, and we'll meet up there. My first suggestion was Goats on the Roof. And I showed up at Goats on the Roof, and I was really nervous just meeting this larger than life person that I had seen on the internet. This huge personality. So I got there to Goats on the Roof, and it was pouring down rain. I'm like, oh, this is ruined. I was trying to show him something cool, and now it's pouring. And he sent me a message, and it said, "Nice weather we're having. Do you have any other suggestions?" So I said, okay, I gotta think of something inside. So I was like, Three Bears gift shop. Three Bears gift shop. Notice I'm picking things that don't cost any money because I was broke, and I didn't know how broke he was. But he said, good, we'll meet you over there. We showed up, met him at the Three Bears gift shop, and there was very little introduction. I had sent him my blog, and I think he looked at least peeked at it, and he told me that he recognized, oh cool, that I knew a lot about roadside attractions, that I was, a kindred spirit in that way. And within just a few minutes, introduced ourselves, told him, yeah, blah, 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 love the videos, like that. And he's like, all right, let's do this. And, at the time, he did videos differently. He would do a video every day where it would be completely unedited. He would fire up his phone, and he would film, and he just started filming, and and you could go watch that video. It was 12 years ago at the Three Bears gift shop in Pigeon Forge, and you can see how shy I am in the video, and I hardly say anything through the video. Don't know what to say. He is so animated. He's bouncing up and down. I remember he climbed down and on this bear statue, so it was grabbing his face, and he runs in. He pays for the food so we can feed the bears. And we spent the video filming bears, and I don't think we hung out much that day after that. But the next time he was in the area, I remember he asked me. Next time he was in the area, I suggested Cherokee, North Carolina. He'd never been to Cherokee, so I kind of showed him around. We did a couple videos there. Of course, I wasn't filming videos at the time. I was taking photos. You can see I have my in that bear video, I have my DSLR camera that did not take video. It just took still photos. So I took some photos, that was the beginning. That was the beginning of our friendship. Hung out a couple times. Him coming down. Remember when I did my first trip to California. I had never been to California. I had a whole list of things I wanted to do, and he invited me to stay at his home. He invited me into his home. And this is just the generosity that Adam had was overwhelming. For him to invite me, he had no reason, he had no obligation to invite me into his home. But he did, and he let me stay at his house. When I was in Florida, I could stay at his place. Next time, always, always just so generous with that. And I said at the beginning of this video that Adam was my best friend, and that's absolutely true. And you might say to yourself, looking at all the other messages, looking at other tributes, you may see other people say that Adam was their best friend, and I'll tell you what, it's true, because Adam was everyone's best friend, because that's just who he was. He was best friend to everyone. To have his light, that he brought with him. He was always made you feel special. And just want to talk with me, like I said, I was taking photos. I was doing my blog with a B, and I had thought about, after I saw Adam, I'm like, after I saw, more YouTube videos, I was like, maybe I should do, YouTube videos. Maybe I should do videos, because I don't know if people are reading blogs anymore. And, the biggest hang-ups were, I just didn't know, I just didn't think I had a personality to be on camera. I didn't think I looked like the other people on YouTube. And I just didn't know how to do it. I was overwhelmed, and, I modeled what I did on what I saw Adam do. And, it was, when I say he was my mentor, I mean, like, he would tell me, he's like, oh, that looked really good, or he would give me advice, tell me how he does things, or how he paces things, little things, like, just little things. I learned from him. I learned, it was okay to put quietness in videos. That's what he called it. It's a moment of, in his videos, he would show, just a scenery, not have talking necessarily for that part. And he didn't want to call it a moment of silence, because he said it sounded like someone died. So he called it a moment of quietness. And just little things like that. I could sit here and list everything he taught me, but really, he taught me everything. Everything I know about filming a video, everything I know about putting together a video, I learned from watching him, and took that advice out, of his mouth. And he, every bit of advice he ever gave me, it paid off. Like, I just listened. When he told me to do something, that's not like he wasn't, he wasn't like, oh, you need to change this. It was always just, just very kind, very just, listening to the car rides, the drives together, seeing how he filmed, and how he edited, and that's, I use those skills to build this channel. And, I'm not exaggerating. I owe him everything. I owe him so much. I wouldn't have what I have. I wouldn't have the life that I have. I don't know if I'd still be at CPS. I don't know. And I guess that's, if I could talk to him one more time, I would just say thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for helping me be who I was. You know, even with the confidence watching him, he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid to be stupid in public. He wasn't afraid. Wasn't worried about people laughing at him. He wasn't worried about embarrassing himself. And I remember we were traveling, we were filming together. And he would be like, hey Jacob, go get, like there would be a statue of like a bear. He's like, go climb on the bear. I remember I said to him, we were doing it so much, I'm like, Adam, I'm a little worried that I'm just going to be noticed the guy that rides statues in your video. And I've even heard silly comments. Like silly comments were like, oh, you know, Adam's mean to Jacob. Like, no, he's not. Like, no, he's not. Like, it was, we were having so much fun. Like, it was a rapport. It was like, and I think Justin used the same comparison, but, you know, I'm the oldest in my family. I don't have a big brother. I don't have a big older sibling. So he was kind of the big brother that I never had. And, you know, he didn't have a brother. I think I kind of was like his little brother. And, you know, on the videos he would tease me. It was fun. It was fun. It was nice being the little brother for once. That's what I was thinking about last night. I don't think, my biggest regret is this. I don't think I thanked him enough. I hope that somewhere deep inside he knew how much he gave me. But I wish I would have said thank you more often. You know, sometimes I have a hard time with those things, with like telling people how I really feel about them, and I hate that you know, I loved him so much. And like I said, he was so grateful, so generous. I was talking to another friend about this, that, you know, Adam was no doubt a pioneer in this type. You know, there's all sorts of different types of YouTube videos in this style, this you know, theme park / travel vlogging style. This little corner, YouTube has it all clumped together. You know, Adam was one of the first. Adam and you know, I think Tim Tracker were very much around the same time, but Adam was an absolute pioneer in doing this, and just that simple, just grab the camera and film yourself and go find fun stuff to do, go to theme parks. And Adam, some fire trucks. Adam, sorry, take a second. There's fire trucks. Try to get my thoughts together. I'm sorry. It's like I was saying, Adam. Oh, hey there. There's a dog. Adam. He you know, he got that success, he got that momentum. You know, like I said, he was a pioneer in this style of vlogging. And, you know, Adam had no reason at all to help anyone else. He was near the top, on the top of this little section of YouTube. But Adam did not pull that ladder up behind him. He helped raise everyone else. You know, people that would be considered Adam's competition. You know, technically, if you want to like break things down, like there's only so many people out there. There's only so many eyeballs. You know, I never looked at it this way either, but every vlogger is competing for attention. There's only so many hours in the day. People only have so much time to watch vlogs, but Adam never viewed it that way. He never viewed it that way. He helped pull up other people that made the same type of content as him. You know, I feel like I'm not the only channel out there that exists in its current form because of Adam's generosity. You know, if you had a small channel, you had a small following, you know, I remember him telling me he's like, oh, you know, I'm going to this area, and he mentioned some maybe a local vlogger that had a small following. He's like, I'm gonna hit them up, see if they want to hang out, and you know, and Adam would give them that exposure. You know, to see someone on Adam's channel, that was a big step, because you know, that was, you know, introducing them to maybe to his audience. And you know, he was just always generous like that. Even if you had, you know, people with very small channels, you know, he showed them, he hung out with them, and he was just helping promote everyone else, because that's just who he was. You know, he wasn't trying to be the only game in town. It was almost like, with him, it was almost like the more the merrier. You know, the more people doing this, the more community. But I don't think it was about, you know, I think with him it was just about, you know, I don't think he had any plan. I don't think he was trying to necessarily build a community. I think that's just who he was. I think he just liked reaching out to kindred spirits, and I think he liked helping people, and he liked seeing people succeed. I remember, you know, when I did full time on my channel, when I quit my job and went full time, he was so supportive. He was like, yes, go for it. So proud of you. Like, he posted on Facebook, and it meant, you know, it just meant the world to me. He was just telling people how much, you know, he appreciated me. And he would always tell me, he was, you know, he was like, you know, complimenting you how much I could travel. I was just thinking, you know, about his mentorship. I remember, you know, him teaching me to slow down. I think was one of the biggest things. I think it's really helped is, you know, I would try to film like 7 videos in one day, and you know, I'd be with Adam, and he would joke that I'd like, okay, this video's over, let's start a new one. And you know, Adam taught me through watching him and through listening to him, you know, don't, you know, he absorbed something. And he told me, he's like, you know, and I asked him, like, why don't you do more than 1 video a day? And he said, I think people can tell. You know, when you're really into it. People can tell when you're rushing. People can tell, you know, those little things. Like, you know, they see you wearing the same clothes. They know that you've tried to make, you know, that you've rushed something. And I took that to heart. And that's why I only do 1 video a day now, so I could put everything into it. I remember being on road trips with him, and he would tell me, I would be like, oh, we got to film this and this and this, and we can't miss this. I really got to get over here. And he says, hey, let's save some stuff for next time. And I don't know, it was a big deal to me. I was in such a hurry. Like, I don't know, I was frantic. I had it in my head, like, I was only going to be in each place 1 time. I figured there would never be a time where I'd come back to Albuquerque for another reason. But obviously that's paid off, and I've learned to take my time, leave stuff for next time, pace yourself, put your heart into a video. Don't try to overextend yourself, make too many videos in one day. It's oh man. And I talk about this spirit of generosity, the people he touched. I was surprised. I don't know why I was surprised, but when he passed away, all these mainstream publications, TMZ, People Magazine, Entertainment Tonight, USA Today, they all reported on Adam's death. And it shows just how widespread throughout the entire world his reach and how many people he touched. I've been in communication with a lot of other creators, mutual friends, and everyone is devastated. And then I just think about that, like beyond that, just the people out there that watch him, that have made him a part of every other day, whether they drink coffee with him or whether they put him on during dinner or sit down with their family and watch him together. His impact, it's just almost immeasurable. And people of that spirit, that it shined through. And I think another thing Justin said in his tribute was like, the real Adam, like, Adam, that was Adam, that he pushed through, that spirit of curiosity, that spirit of adventure. But and I think it's really important to mention Adam's family, because Adam loved his family so much. Adam was never married. He never had any children, and the reason for that was simple. That he went on these adventures. He had this goal, this mission. He didn't feel like he had enough time to give, to a wife or to children at that point in his life. I think he always planned, it was never like, I'm never getting married, I'm never having kids. It was always just not, just not right now. He didn't feel like he could do his travels and balance that. And because Adam, because he didn't have a wife, because he didn't have kids, like his mother and his father and his sister were so, that was his family. When he talked about his family, that was his family. And he loved them so much. I got a chance to meet his parents. I got a chance to meet some of his extended family, and I don't believe I've ever got to meet if I met his sister, it was only in passing. But he I got a chance. His mother hung out with us in Gatlinburg one day, and she's just a very, very sweet lady. You could say I see a lot of you could see a lot of Adam in his mother. How kind and sweet she was. But he made time. That was the one. He did make time for his family, and he took his family on his adventures. He loved taking his mom and showing his mom things that she had never got a chance to see. I think he had to coax her a little bit because she, his parents. He grew up in a religious home. His father was a preacher. Um, and they were very modest people. They didn't, people that did very extravagant things, but he pushed them into that doing. He's like taking his mom on these trips of the things that she wanted to do, but maybe she was, just wasn't comfortable, like treating herself that way. But he treated his mother so well. He went on that road trip with his dad. He loved his dad, and he loved his sister so much. It was always a priority going out and seeing his sister, and taking his family, sharing what he had with his family. And my heart absolutely breaks for them, because I know how much he loved them, and I know how much they loved him. Him and his sister were closer than any sibling could be. They were, like I said, they were like best friends. It's, like I said, everyone was Adam's best friend. And I just, I know that they know a different Adam. I don't know, I don't know what their plans are, but I just hope everyone please just gives them the time they deserve, and to mourn the son and brother that they lost. Oh, I was thinking about a kind of a dark time in my life. I was new to this YouTube thing, and the internet's not always a kind place, and I was being harassed online. I was being different things happening from different people. There was some actual real life harassment, and then there was some typical YouTube just hatefulness, and I didn't know how to handle it. And I went and I posted a video, and I was just ranting, and I was angry, and I was calling out people by name, and just, I was so angry. And Adam sent me a message, and he said, don't do that, don't, he's like, talk to me, don't talk to them, talk to me. And that was so huge to me, and it was such a thing. Like, I could talk, none of my other friends, my friends, the day-to-day friends, my work friends, they had no idea. No one had ever dealt with this. It's such a strange situation, being harassed online because you've chosen to make yourself a public figure, something I wasn't prepared for. But Adam understood it. He had been through all the same things. He had been through all these things that I had been through. So it was just to be able to have someone that I could rant to, someone that I could say all these things that are happening to me. And he knew because he'd been through them. And that was just, it was just to have something like that. Like, I don't know what stupid decisions I would have made if I didn't have him to talk me through it, to talk me down. The same, and it went both ways too. Like, there was times, Adam was good at handling it, but sometimes he just got so bummed out, because I think Adam loved making people happy, and he understood. I remember one thing he always said. He's like, I get it, I'm obnoxious. And he get it. He understood that not everyone liked him. I don't think he really understood why people would hate him, that with what he did, that there was so much hate out there for what he did. And you know, part of that is just internet. You know, it's internet. There's just hate on the internet. That's what the internet is. It's made of hate. And you know, there's times, you know, I would talk to him about it, and you know, and remind him, you know, you know, what he told me, and to just have that support. I don't know that everyone has that support. They know, you know, people build a little bit of a following on YouTube, and then it gets weird. And I don't know that everyone had that mentor like I had to be able to guide through those very scary waters. I just walked through a big pile of mud, but that's okay. You know, he was able to get me through that, get me through some really hard times, and he dealt with that every day of his life up till the day he died. There was people trying to make his life miserable, and he just, over the years, you know, he would smile about it. You know, I think there was times that he actually thought it was funny, and you know, and I remember him reminding me, he's like, you know, me and you, we're lucky. This life that we have, it's unbelievable. You know, the ability to travel, the ability to see the world, it's this unbelievable gift. And you know, maybe people are frustrated because, you know, they weren't, you know, they maybe they weren't happy with their lives, or how their lives worked out. So like, yeah, I mean, he got it, and he helped me, understand it as well. And you know, I hope to continue showing, you know, the grace that he taught me through that. Like I said, is, you know, there's Jen, my kids, but besides them, you know, Adam was the most important, the most important person in my life. And I think for now, I've gotten out most of what I wanted to say. I tried, when I found out that he had passed, I tried to do a video right then and there. I pulled up my camera. I was just overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to get this out. I need to let it out. And the words just didn't come out. I tried probably 6 times the day he died to record something, and it just never, the words just couldn't come out. And you know, it's holidays, spending time with my family. It's I'll tell you guys, it's rough. As a lot of you may know, in August, my stepfather passed away from cancer, and it was one of the biggest losses I've ever had in my life. And this was the first Christmas without him, and it was going in, you know, I was sad going into this Christmas without him, and I did not expect 3 days before Christmas for my best friend to die. And I'm wearing the shirt still. I was wearing this last night, but I'm still wearing it. This shirt belonged to my stepfather. My stepfather was a big supporter of me and my channel. You know, he would buy this merch. He would buy it just direct. He wouldn't ask me for it. He would just buy it directly from my shop without telling me. And this shirt, artist made this for me, and put Adam on it, and we went on a road trip, Route 66. So we decided we were gonna we were really gonna push our merch. We were gonna wear our merch, wear each other's merch, and talk about our merch at the end of every video. And this was one of the shirts that we were pushing. It's got, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says vlogs and knuckle sandwiches. It's got me and Adam riding in the back of the car. But like I said, this is a shirt that my stepfather Keith wore, and I took it from his closet after he passed away because I wanted it. And last night I went and got this shirt, and I realized that it's my stepfather's shirt, but it's got Adam on here. So like, two of my biggest supporters in the whole world left this year right here on this shirt. And if anyone's asking, like, are you okay? No, I'm not. I'm not okay. I will be okay, but right now I'm not okay. And you know, that's the old phrase, like, it's okay to not be. It's okay to not be okay, and I'm not okay. I'm happy I'm here. I'm happy I'm here with loved ones. I'm with my siblings, my mom, with Jen, with my daughter, and you know, having them around, you know, doesn't make me necessarily feel better, but it's I know I'm surrounded by love, and I'm surrounded by support, and I will be okay. The thought of just going and filming something silly now seems so strange. But eventually I will. Part of me, I don't even know why. I just want to go down to Florida. I don't know if I am going to go down there, but I don't know. I'm maybe thinking crazy. I just want to be near where Adam was. Maybe I want to see some people that knew Adam like me. I want to see some friends that we both had. Maybe we could talk about Adam. So and what I wanted to say, how I wanted to end this is, you know, Adam left this huge legacy, and you know, that's what's helping me hang on here, is just knowing that he lived every day like it was a gift, and he treated every day like a gift. And I promise him, and I promise you guys, that I'm going to do the same thing from now on. Every day is a gift. Every day is a new adventure. Even if I'm not filming, every day is still a gift. Every day is still an opportunity for a new adventure. And I promise you that I will carry on his legacy through my work, because I've always carried on what he taught me. But you know, he will always be with me when I'm filming, and I will always be thinking about him, and I will always try to carry on in my little way, much like, you know, the other people that he touched, the other people that he inspired, maybe people that didn't even know him personally, that were inspired by him. They will carry on his legacy through their actions, through, you know, their creative endeavors, and through the way that they live their day-to-day life. You know, if you want to take something away from Adam, you know, for yourself, I know not everyone can do it. I know not everyone can just get up and do and make it work. Everyone's got a different situation, but maybe if you've been thinking that there's something that you wanted to do, something that is on your bucket list, or something that you have always wanted to do but just never really got up and did, maybe go do that. Go stop talking about it. Go do it, because that's what Adam would do. I'm sorry. So I promise I will do my best to live up to what what he taught me and what he put out into this world. And I don't know how things work, but you know, if there's some way that Adam is listening right now, or that he can hear me, then just all I want to say is thank you for everything. The life I have, I never would have had without you. You're one of the best people that I have ever met. And the positivity that you put out will live forever. The circle, he called it the circle of goodness. You know, what he put out there, the repercussions, what he gave, the love that was returned to him, the circle of goodness. And I promise that the circle of goodness will live on through all of us. And, they say that you don't really die until everyone that knows about you is gone. And I have a feeling that Adam will live on for a very, very long time, because, I guess a true legend like Adam never dies. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening. Let me pour my heart out. And I'll be back at some point. And I love you guys.